I'm John Gogliatino.
I'm Abigail Adams.
I'm Bobo Potzner.
I'm Risa Minikin.
And I'm Doris Hanley. Welcome to 30 Minutes.
Welcome to 30 Minutes. My name is John Gogliatino, and I'm your host. We've got an interesting show here tonight. It's about cats, and it's about two very great women that are involved in this rock and rescue of cats. They're in this general area, and Comcast rules. I'm never gonna mention a street or whatever, but and I'm going to ask the question: why is it rock and rescue? Julie, Cialone, and
Cialone.
So okay, I did it last time too. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We did it on the other show, and this Marla, Valentine are the two people I was talking about. They're rock and rescue is their main avocation. It is about cats. The whole show is going to be about cats, and I promise to you, it's going to be a very good show. So without further ado, tell us a little bit about yourself, because there's another 3,000 people that have probably come in since the last time you were on Community Forum. So starting with Julie, you were the original thinker on this, and then Marla came along later on, but now you're the team that does this. So go ahead.
So I founded the rescue when I was still doing photography full time. I was doing lots of photographies of rock singers, especially concert photography for them. And my kids were asking me, what would be the best way to, do something perhaps with all these rescues that you've been working with, and at the same time involve the music industry. So I used to bring callers with me, and I would bring kids who would volunteer for the rescue backstage, and we would ask artists to sign collars, like one per dog and one per cat, and sometimes some artists would actually rename the animal, and we would go to a rescue and we would find a dog and cat in need that might need a little more extra help, and that collar would actually go to the adopter when they adopted. And then the whole concept continued. It was so popular that we still continue that to this day, but now with music a little bit sidelined, we haven't been able to get as many callers signed, but that will start again as soon as COVID lifts and that music artists are back producing what we so much love.
And Marla, you could tell us how you got involved with this. You were doing something else, and you decided that cats so embellish your life that you got to devote more of your time to the cats and less to the human beings, even though you still do the other thing. Go ahead. You'll explain myself.
So I'm a social worker, and I've worked in long-term care for over 25 years. My last position was as a director of social services in a nursing home. I felt that I needed more in my life, and Julie posted on a Nextdoor app that she was looking for fosters. So I responded to the ad, and I started fostering for Rock and Rescue. From there, I made a life decision to stop working in long-term care and take my love of animals and my love of helping people to the rescue. And Julie and I put our heads together, and we came up with the concept of letting animals, how animals help people and people help animals. And there you have it.
Very good. My next question has to do with the rock and rescue. I think you already said something about that you were taking pictures of the rock people, and in the beginning, these rock people also funded you. You
No,
know.
we never asked them for any money.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Nope, never one.
All
No,
right.
it was all about the callers and them donating their signatures.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way. You would like them to watch.
Of course, we always accept donations from anyone, especially a rock star.
If they can send you a donation, those are the two things you're looking for. You're looking
We
for
will
donations.
absolutely take it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then the other thing is you're looking for volunteers, people that want to help out. There's always time for them to come in and help you with the enormous group of cats.
And once COVID is over and we're
Yeah.
able to go back into the nursing homes, we will restart our therapy programs. We work with 7 nursing homes where Julie and I and some volunteers and of course cats and kittens go into the facilities and we do therapeutic recreation. We also work with occupational therapists on fine motor skills, utilizing the cats. So it's helpful for individuals who've suffered from a stroke or need, have fine motor coordination issues.
Very good. So that may not be too far away. They say the 4th of July might be the time, or maybe a month later.
I hope so.
We
Really
hope so.
Yes. I think we're all hoping for one reason or another. You came up with some ideas that people don't really know. For example, black cats bring bad luck. Is that true?
Oh, well,
That's a false. A couple faults there. Okay. We
That
have-
is absolutely false. So it's a myth, and it goes back to the Middle Ages in Europe, where black cats were seen as a sign of death or bad luck, just like crows and ravens. In America, black cats were associated with witches. In the Salem witch trials of 1692, they actually persecuted the witches along with cats. Not everyone held those views, and the ancient Egyptians, they believed that the gods actually lived inside of cats. And in certain parts of the 19th century in Europe, black cat sightings were actually seen as a good omen. And the Irish believed that if a black cat came onto your porch and stayed there, that was good luck. And in Japanese culture, they see black cats as a symbol of prosperity.
Interesting. Now, another thing that they say is that cats smother babies, and so don't make good pets in homes with children. Okay, we got a double false there on that one.
yeah, no double false.
Cats are actually amazing with children. There was actually only one documented case in the year 2000 where a family cat accidentally lied down on a baby and smothered it. It's a rumor. It's false. This is so incredibly rare.
I would say cue some photos while you talk about this.
Absolutely. While I talk, we can cue these photos. Cats actually make wonderful pets in homes with children. They thrive on the attention and love that the children can provide. And we at Rock and Rescue, we're known for placing hundreds of therapeutic cats into homes with children, and a lot of them are homes with special needs children. These are a few of our cats and our families who shared their photos with us, so with their permission.
Very nice. Okay, we were already doing the pics, so you don't have any more pics. Okay.
Yeah, we're good on that.
Yeah, because it said here, let's show some pics. That was the next comment. Any more coming up? Okay, well, we'll go on to domestic short hair and domestic long hair. Are they both cat breeds?
False.
That's false. Okay.
So when you go to a shelter, if they list cats as domestic long hair and domestic short hair. So there's a bit of confusion on this because technically, let's say a beagle mix, like a puggle, is a domestic short-haired dog, but you wouldn't call that dog a domestic short-hair. Just like in the dog world and the cat world, shelters like to basically take a mixed breed and call them something so they can kind of say, okay, this is long-haired, this is medium-haired, and this is short-haired. But in the cat world, they've kind of forgotten that most cats are actually breeds as just like dogs are. If you do DNA tests, like many of our adopters do, you'll find that many cats that you adopt are actually truly mixed breeds, and you can see one or two, sometimes three different breeds in there. And when we do adoptions, we try and help our adopters decide which of those breeds they might have. And then there's a curious fact that some breeds of cats, for example, I own a Himalayan. A Himalayan is actually a Persian and a Siamese. So just like you have a puggle, which is a pug and a beagle, an actual breed that is recognized is actually really started off as a mixed breed of Persians and wanting the Siamese color. Same with Bengals. Everyone's always saying, why does a Bengal look so much like a tabby cat? And tabby cat's really just the color. They mixed an Asian wildcat with the domesticated tabby cat, and you've gotten that color. So if you have a tabby cat, it's kind of cool because it probably has a little Bengal in it.
Now,
we get this question all the time, by the way, John.
Yeah, very common.
All the time.
People always want a certain breed, but they don't believe that color just determines breed.
What? Okay, dogs make the best therapy animals. Is that? How does that go? It could be either or what? So it depends on who you are as to whether or not it's a false or true.
Well, it really depends. I'll say the true side first. So in terms of dogs, we love dogs, and we actually are having a bunch of puppies come in tomorrow. Many of them are going to provide, happiness and therapy for families in terms of just being a source of happiness and love. Any pet is truly can be therapeutic. But dogs provide, certain dogs obviously are better for therapy than cats are. For example, guiding eye dogs. I mean, you really can't have a guiding eye cat, not yet at least. But guiding eyes is something where a dog really has something particular that it can do. On the other hand,
so it really depends on the individual's needs. It depends on the person, it depends on the household, and it depends on their lifestyle. That will really dictate whether, a dog or a cat is best suited as a therapy animal. We really specialize in the therapeutic placements of cats into homes. We work with adults, we work with children. We, especially in this past year, we've done placements for individuals with PTSD, depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation, and a lot of children on the spectrum who are working, and doing school from home. It's been truly difficult. We do placements into single-family homes, and we are also doing placements into multi-generational homes. What we find with cats is that cats are intuitive and they do show empathy, and that makes them perfect as a therapy animal. As a matter of fact, one of our adopters, who she fostered a mama and babies, and then she adopted the mom and two of the babies. She told us after adopting them that they were able to sense when she was having a seizure, actually prior to the seizure coming on, before she even had realized that she was going to have a seizure. The cats would come onto her. They would start climbing on her. And this, made her, after several seizures, she realized that they were telling her it was time, was time for her to go and lay down. She tells us that they are reliable, and that thanks to them, she is able to now, she travels with them, and she has more of a sense of control about the world, which prior to that, there was so much uncertainty. She didn't know, she didn't have that sense that these cats, bring to her into her life now, if that makes sense.
We have pictures, I think.
We do have pictures, but not of that.
These are ones that are senior pictures. When we go to the senior centers and provide therapy there, and it's a perfect thing for seniors to have come into their lives there, because many of them have a love for babies and little kittens. We wrap, I think there's a couple of pictures there show, we wrap them like little, we call them burritos. We make them into like little baby dolls, and they rock them to sleep. And it is incredibly comforting to them. They talk to them, they ask about them. It really enhances their life and creates a wonderful therapeutic environment. So cats are ideal for this. It's a lot harder to use dogs in this scenario.
And what's wonderful about this is that while we're handing over the kitten or the cat to the resident in the facility, myself, Julie, and our volunteers were able to reminisce with them and talk about their past and talk about how animals affected their lives when they were children, when they were adults, when they had their own children, and now being in a facility, how a lot of them had to leave their pets behind. So it's the cats are wonderful as a therapy animal.
It's a good idea to bring them in there from time to time, because they'd like to have them around.
Yeah, we can't wait to do that again.
Yeah. Let's see. The next question is: the cats are inherently wild animals and belong outside. They shouldn't be inside because they do all kinds of. Let's see what your vote is this time.
They are not supposed to be outside. False. Huge false. I couldn't make this false any bigger. False. There we go.
You'd like to have one across the entire screen. Just don't do that. It's
pretty much false all the time.
Yeah.
But there's many reasons why. Not just the customary ones that you think about. First of all, these animals are highly domesticated, and you wouldn't have a dog out all day long. But these are not lions, and they're not cats they were not raised to be outside. They don't know what outside is. They're very curious creatures. So just like a parakeet or any other little critter as well, they're very curious and they want to go explore, but they don't know danger and they can't defend themselves. A dog can defend themselves against a coyote. A cat cannot. A dog can defend itself against a hawk. A cat cannot. There are fisher cats in our area and other creatures that could hurt your animals, on top of disease, on top of them getting stuck places and can't get out. It is really, we can't stress this enough to families. Do not let your cat outside. I don't care if you think your cat wants to go outside and his life is going to be better. It's not. And if he goes outside and he's enjoying himself out there, he's also killing your birds outside, the wildlife outside, not the mice and the things that you really want to get rid of. He's killing all the songbirds in your area, including the ones that are all your neighbors' houses. So if your neighbors are getting upset, well, it's no wonder, because they don't want your cat in their yard. They have their bird feeders up so that they could watch and enhance and hopefully help all these little songbirds get through winters, not for them to be hunted and killed for sport. Your cat is not killing them because it wants to eat them. It's killing them because it's fun. And they can do a lot more inside a house than when they go out. Unfortunately, every day I hear people, they sometimes yell at us for this, that we don't allow any of our cats outside. And it's inevitably that same person that calls us back and says, I can't believe it. I just found my cat's leg on my porch. And that cat never strayed out of my yard. We have a fenced-in yard. We have all these things. He only goes out when I'm at lunch, when I'm sitting on my porch. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I hear those stories. And then tragedy strikes, and then they come back and say, I can't believe you were right. So we really highly suggest this. You want to explain the whole Australia problem?
Well, we have a saying, and are just going back to what Julie was saying, and the saying is that it never happened until it did.
Yeah.
So we always get this, well, my cat never strayed. My cat always stays in the backyard. It always stays in the backyard into that one time that it doesn't. And that's when Julie and I get the phone call. And that's where we run into problems, because now it's, we're working against the clock. We literally have maybe 48 hours to see if we can trap this cat and keep it safe.
Well, on top of it all, the other thing we always tell people, we get people who call us and ask us for just advice about basic things, including why is my cat not using its litter box? Well, the first thing I'll ask someone I don't know is, does your cat go outside? And I can tell you for our non-adopters who have come to us for help, I can say about 50% of them say that. And yeah, your cat's going to like going outside. And when it can't go outside, it's going to start using your plants and your laundry and other places that you don't want it to use. And it stops using the litter box that you've trained it so well to do. And I mean, just for that sake alone, who wants your cat, using the rest of your house as a potty? Because outside, the whole world is its bathroom, and that's not fun. And the final thing is, I mean, you look at how it gets out of control. Look at Australia right now, where they're killing millions, not hundreds, but millions of cats, because now they've left cats to go outside. Now they've reproduced like crazy. And it was always seen as, they'll be out in the wild and the wilderness, but they have now created a problem where animals are now going extinct because the cats are killing them, and they are not an indigenous species. And here in the United States, they are not an indigenous species.
That's true. You think it's time for the videotape at this point in time?
No, not yet.
Nope, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, you're the boss.
It's coming.
Now, cats and dogs, they can live in harmony.
Well, of course they can. Everybody always says that, that dogs and cats and other animals, you can put pictures up while I talk here, of course. That animals like, dogs and cats are fighting like Tom and Jerry, and all these other creatures that you see on the cartoons. But in fact, cats and dogs love each other, and it's very rare for a cat to hate a dog and for a dog to hate a cat. This is what we see on a daily basis. These animals love each other. These are all from some of our wonderful adopters and fosters. I mean, cats and dogs get along fantastically. They play, they wrestle, they really enjoy each other's company. They groom each other, and they make really great companions. If a dog needs a buddy, a cat is a great buddy for a dog, and vice versa. It doesn't, depending on your house, we kind of custom match dogs with cats from certain personalities. And yet there are some cats that don't like dogs, and dogs with don't like cats. And this little cat that just got adopted from us and has the best buddy who's a bunny, which I think is great. The two of them are like little twins.
They're inseparable.
From another mother. Look at them. They're
I know.
so adorable. And they play and wrestle just like any other pets do, and safe and happy. And
they love each other.
They absolutely love each other. And plus, they love their humans too. I mean, it doesn't mean they're going to love you any less. But it's great that when you're not home, they've got a buddy to hang out with.
Very good. Where am I next? Cats hate water and cannot swim.
That is
false.
False. Okay.
And the interesting is she has absolute proof of this. So there's a picture of her for you to see while she explains this one.
There are so many. So that's
so
my
cute.
cat, Han Solo. He's a Turkish fan, and he cannot get enough water. Literally, he that's what he does in the morning. As soon as the alarm goes off, he jumps into the sink and waits for me to turn the water on, and he literally takes a bath. He drinks, he takes a bath, and then he shakes. And then he tries to climb on your shoulder. But Turkish Vans, Turkish Angoras, Maine Coons, Bobtails, Manx, Norwegian forest cats, all of these cats are known to love water. They swim. They if you have a bathtub, they'll jump in and join you. We have pictures which we are not going to show. Of adopters who shared with us a little bit too much, but but like dogs, of course, not all cats. And the flat-faced breeds, the Persians, the Himalayans, those are the cats that don't do well with water.
They can't swim as well because their noses are compressed and it's harder for them to breathe. But they don't necessarily dislike water. But the Turkish Vans actually are bred, and they actually can even catch a fish. So that's pretty cool. So you have a pretty snazzy guy.
I sure do.
Now, cats learn tricks just like the dogs.
Sure. And do you want to show the video before this or after this? So I mean, or at the same time, really.
You can do it at the same time.
All right. So this is one of our adopters who sent us a great video, just a clip of it. And you think cats can't? So that's actually false. We can.
Oh yeah,
cats can learn a lot of tricks. And here's a video showing clicker training that has just been started actually recently. and they are actually teaching their cats heel and sit and come, and they're twins cats, and they're still young. But I think if you can get the video on there, you'll see exactly what she's doing. So there were.
Come on back. Sit. Good girls. Stay. Come. Good girl. Mercedes. Come. Good girl. Good work.
Of course, they have to kiss each other. That's always important at the end. But of course, cats can learn fetch. A lot of people report fetching is a fun game for a cat to do. Paw. They do, jump on your lap. They do so much. It's amazing what they can learn. And there definitely is no reason why you can't teach your cat, even an older cat, what to do.
We got about 2 minutes left, so I want to get these in quickly.
Sure.
When cats purr, what does that mean?
So when a cat's purr, are they happy?
Are they happy or are they sad?
Well, true, they are happy most of the time.
But sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're sad. So a purr doesn't always mean that a cat is happy. A lot of times, or when they're sad, or when they're stressed, or when they're feeling anxious. Or when they're in pain. It's part of our job is to when we see a cat is to do try to fully understand what is going on with this cat and make sure that it's not a purr out of from pain or from sadness.
But most of the time, cats purr because of happiness, and that's part of why we love them so much.
Yes, that is true.
Now, declawed cat, is that safer for children than adults, or?
Absolutely not. The whole rumor in New York State, declawing, it's the first state in the United States where declawing is actually illegal. It's considered cruelty. And taking a cat's claws absolutely makes it defenseless. So if you think you're going to be having a safer cat around yourself or around your children, you're wrong. Because what happens is when a cat's defenseless, its next defense is a bite. And a bite is way more dangerous than any kind of scratch. Bites for a cat, if into your hand or worse, it could really give you a serious problem. You should immediately go to urgent care. If you get a cat bite that's deep, infection can really set in. So we tell everybody, please, it is a very cruel practice. Cats will stop using the litter box. Cats will get very sad. Cats will need to be medicated for life. Please, if you're considering declawing, never consider that an option. It is totally horrible.
And one other thing here with 30 seconds to go, your telephone number, website for volunteers and for people that want to donate funds to help you with your endeavors.
Sure. The best way to reach us is at from our website, which is www.r, then the letter N as in Nancy, the letter R, pets, PETS.org.
Or you can email us, and our email address is rock, ROCK, the letter N, rescue, RESCUE, the number 1, at gmail.com.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us again.
Yeah, we're out of time, so I got to move along. I want to thank the viewers for tuning in to 30 Minutes. Tune in next week, same time, same station. We'll have another interesting program. Good night.